am artist Ron Haywood, aka Grandmaster Builder. The purpose of this television show series is to aware the public and art collectors from around the world of the creative process in developing the Haywood Fine Art Collection. I invite you to watch me in action as I create perhaps the finest collection of canvas paintings the world has ever seen. Check out how I painstakingly create thousands of individual building structures to build a large metropolitan city, and then take a blank canvas and transform it into a masterpiece of art. Please spread the word and tell all your friends and family about my artwork. You will be amazed on how beautiful one of these paintings will look on your wall. But for now, I invite you to just sit back, relax, to find out how it all began and where it's all going. My goal is to produce the world's finest collection of imaginary cityscape paintings the world has ever seen. Since I was young, I've had the desire to design and build entire cities out of my own imagination. Knowing this would be impossible for me to do out of real brick, steel, and glass, I thought I would give it a shot as artwork. This proved at first impossible for me to do also in the way I really wanted to do it, so for many years I was limited to just drawing one building at a time or small sections of a city, mostly on paper. Then in 1984, I had my first experience using computers. I didn't foresee at the time of what the capability of computers would be today. And then 16 years later, I purchased my first computer and it opened up a whole new world for me. I used it mostly for typing letters and editing photographs. By then, I had pretty much given up on the idea of creating magnificent cities on canvas and selling them to the world. A few years later, I had purchased a powerful laptop and the latest Adobe software. Suddenly, a door opened and the idea slowly came back to life. I continued to experiment with photographs and started to mess around a little with line and box tools. Finally, the idea came to me. I know it's impossible for me or anyone else to hand paint the cities I want to create on canvas, but can I use this software and a printer to do so? I tried to make small houses and cars and loved the results. By the time I purchased my third computer, I was well on my way to creating thousands of structures, my personal building blocks for the 21st century, to see if I could make a city in the detail and complexity I always dreamed of. As the time came to when I had enough structures to make my first city, I was only able to view the full results on my computer screen because the print technology wasn't able to produce a full-size fine art quality painting yet. I knew I was onto something and continued to make more structures. Then several years ago, I made my first attempt to produce a full-size canvas painting of one of my cities. The effort failed. The print technology still wasn't there yet. I was disappointed but pushed on, making more structures and dreaming of the day when I could finally produce the art I always dreamed of. Then about a year ago, seeing how far print technology had come, I gave it another shot. This time I made the attempt with the city you see here called Emerald City. Once again, the effort failed over and over and over again, until several months ago when I got the news and the three words I so long waited for: it is done. Now for the first time, technology is allowing a new breed of artists like myself to create huge wall-sized fine art canvas paintings of images that are impossible to paint by hand. The door is now open and a new era of magnificent, unbelievable canvas paintings are now well on their way. When the idea finally came to me to try and use a computer and printer to produce my art, I was new to using line-of-box tools. I began to play around and get better and better at it until I was able to design small houses and buildings like the one you see here. I had to figure out how to make many different building surfaces along with color and angles. The angle was very important to giving each painting its perspective. I needed a special type of style for my art that would stand out different from other artists. I came up with an idea that would let people viewing my work see maximum detail. I call this style consistent scale area view. All structures in my paintings are of equal scale no matter where you find them in the painting. This perspective is different from the way our eyes view objects in real life and how most landscape artists present their work. As in real life, the further away an object is from eyesight, the smaller and less detailed it is. Most landscape artists paint this way. In my paintings, the further away you're supposed to be from an object, its scale and detail still remains the same, no matter where you see it in the picture. So over the past several years, I had to make thousands of structures as a standard base of buildings to make a city. I will continue to make more structures until I stop producing art. After several years of work, I was able to create thousands of structures that make up a city. These structures include, but are not limited to, parking meters, mailboxes, newsstands, bus stops, subway stations, trees, light poles, stoplights, stop signs, people, grass, bushes, billboards, local roadways, highways, elevated train tracks, radio towers, cell phone towers, television station towers, tower cranes. I also had to build power stations, sewage treatment plants, shopping malls, colleges, universities, high schools, baseball, football, and basketball stadiums. I also had to build mountains, parks, rivers, coal mines, farms, factories, airports, shipping ports, spaceports. I also had to build cars, trucks, subways, cranes, buses, taxis, ships, airplanes, blimps, rockets, cable cars, and so much more. Just one building alone could take up to 5,000 pieces to assemble. Can you imagine what it would take to create a large, mega metropolitan city of 10 to 50 million people? Follow my journey and watch it slowly happen, hour by hour, week by week, month by month, year by year. born in the city of New York and from an early age fell in love with urban life. I love everything that's big. I love tall buildings, large ocean liners, the 747 jetliner, 18-wheeler trucks, the New York City subway system, all large bridges, and the rivers they cross. I have been lucky to live in several places both on the east and west coast that had spectacular views of a city. I just love views of entire cities from high above. The best view I ever saw of a city while standing at one point and looking down was at Mount Wilson in Los Angeles. It is a view from 6,000 feet above the city. The most exciting place I ever lived was in the heart of Times Square. These experiences is what inspired me to produce my art. Over the years, I hope to create the finest collection of paintings the world has ever seen from a single artist. These paintings can range in size from 4 to 12 feet up to 16 to 80 feet. I hope my art can bring you peace, pleasure, joy, and inspiration. Now that you've seen what it takes for me to produce my art, I hope you will follow me on this journey to produce some of the world's greatest paintings. I invite you to join me week by week to see the progress I make creating the Hayward Fine Art Collection. Some of the paintings can take up to 6 months to produce. Come watch me in action as I painstakingly lay out the landscape, lay down the street grid, plan the rivers, highway systems, airports, transit systems, and so much more. So tune in once again to watch another edition